that's just how I see it. I feel like it's a dying regime, and it's just a matter of time before there's a straw. That's why the resistance is so motivated, because they see this crumbling, and they want to go in.
I would just add, like, that's completely right. They are weak, and that is why they are oppressing the young people, because they, out of fear. This is the pressure that they're putting on our youth, on our people who are fighting for freedom, because they fear them. They don't want people to come and speak out. They don't want the young ones,
Be empowered.
In power, exactly. It is out of fear. They know they are in a weak position, and
when they're vulnerable too, they're going to be executing.
Yeah, I wanted to add something else about the regime. Example, there is family that needs to sell their kids to just live. I mean, this is not fair. I mean, example, in Canada, if you have something, like if you cannot help your family, like they will help you, and there is like this program. There is those programs.
There's stability there.
Exactly,
and
but
in Iran, they're like missing that stability. They don't want
exactly.
They don't want their people to like. The country is not thriving right now. Like the people are miserable.
Yeah.
Imagine walking 100%. In the street and just like fearing for your life, or like so many mothers, like you said,
because it's not normal, you know. It's not normal that a mother or a father needs to sell their kid so they can live. I mean, this is not fair.
Yeah,
you want to be with your child, with your family, but you have to do that, and you know that your child will probably go into prostitution, and this is also not fair. Like,
exactly. They're forced into conditions that are not at all
miserable.
They're miserable, but it's just awful, and that a government does not support its people, does not care about their future, does not care about their well-being. What kind of government is that?
Exactly.
It's not a proper government. This is a regime. This is a dictatorship that is only looking after itself, looking after its own needs for power.
And clinging to power, you know?
Clinging to power.
Yeah. It's archaic, and I think it's interesting because I also see it as a strategy. I think what they're doing is, when you starve people of their basic fundamental human rights, people become quite obsessed with seeking their fundamental rights. It's the same thing as when you starve someone of food. Then what do they think about the next day? They don't have time to think about social justice or amending some sort of law. You're thinking about your next meal. So when you starve people of their fundamental freedoms, you actually arrest a nation in social evolution, still living in abject poverty. And I think that's why our country still looks like this. There's a lot of really beautiful things about Iran, which is, again, why we're fighting for it.
Even right now, I mean, every day they don't have electricity for at least an hour, 2 hours, you know. All of their food that needs to be in a refrigerator is all gone. Everything. They have to do it again. I mean, I think first of all, it's not even normal that you don't have electricity every day for at least 1 hour. This is the first thing.
Even in the countryside.
Yeah.
You should have that in the countryside.
We're literally seeking the fundamental thing.
Yeah. Let's talk about propaganda. Why do you think there is so much negative propaganda against the Mujahideen, who is essentially fighting for the opposite, for a democratic freedom? And, you know, is there anyone or anything that you would attribute it to?
I would say that it's because Mujahideen is the only viable alternative for getting rid of this regime. You know, we have the son of the Shah, who is now coming in and trying to find a way, or try to put himself in a position where
he's the only alternative.
That he is the only alternative, but it's not true. He comes from a family that was also a dictatorship in Iran's history. There's no difference between the Shah and the Sheikh. There's no difference between the Shah, the monarchy and the current regime that is in place, both of them oppressed, both of them imprisoned, both of them executed. So there's no difference there. What other movement is out there right now that is fighting for freedom in Iran? What other movement is out there that has been working consistently for the past 45 years?
Yeah.
Where? You know, Mujahideen has a history that from the get-go, they have been working towards one main goal, and that is against the Iranian regime. And they haven't wavered, they haven't changed that plan.
Yeah.
I did a speech in New York where I spoke against the monarchy, that I spoke against the Shah and the crown. And the response that I got was completely, shocking to me. That
Just like that, or like afterwards?
Afterwards, in social media, the things that they were writing was, very inappropriate, very disrespectful, writing me off and spreading lies, really, and thinking that, we got paid to come and speak, or that I got paid to come and speak. I did not get paid to speak.
No.
I spoke in New York.
No one in the Mujahideen gets paid
exactly
to speak, because it's coming from our hearts.
It comes from our hearts.
And everything that we do, every piece of funding goes towards the actual people that need the help.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's a really funny thing to say.
I mean, they've been constantly working towards one goal, and how can we say that it's for money when we're only seeking justice and freedom?
Exactly. Yeah. Lots of images that we see on social media that show an Iran pre-revolution, but that does not show half of it. We have, even during the Shah's period, there's the country under poverty. Why aren't we showing, the regions, Baluchistan and Kurdistan, where people were living in very, dire conditions. They didn't have access to running water. Well, where is that modernity within those other regions, outside of those cities,
outside of the metropolitan?
Why did many of the people did not have access to education, proper education? And even with the women, they were forced to not wear the hijab. So it goes both ways. You can't force hijab on a woman, and you can't also force the hijab off.
Right.
You have to give women the basic rights to choose what they want to wear. Yeah, it's like propaganda. And even there's a lot of propaganda out there about how Mujahideen does not have any supporters, that the young do not support the resistance.
That the youth is non-existent.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's true. They don't acknowledge that this is that the youth are connected to this organization.
And that every day they're joining, they're joining this movement.
I mean, from all around the world, we're joining somewhere, and we want, I mean,
why aren't our events being shared amongst all news sources? Why aren't we discussing why isn't it being presented that we have these large demonstrations, for example, in Brussels, in New York, where we had thousands of people. We have events every year where supporters from all around the world are coming, and
thousands of people.
Thousands participating. They're taking time off of work. They're taking time off of school. They're spending money to fly in because they believe in the movement. Why is this not being shared? Mujahideen does have supporters outside of Iran, but also within the country. We're seeing every day images that the resistance units are doing different events. They're lighting banners on fire of the regime. So there are things that are happening. We have support. Why are the prisons full of people if there's no support for Mujahideen? Propaganda is out of fear, because Mujahideen is the only alternative, is the only group that has been working consistently. And the 10-point plan that Maryam Rajavi has highlighted has been something that has remained consistent,
So then let's focus on this message, this emphasis that the NCRI puts on neither Shah nor Mullah. Neither Shah nor Mullah, neither Shah nor Sheikh. So how would you explain, first of all, why? And I think we've been sort of discussing that, but how do you explain this to someone who is curious about this specific PMOI position. By making this position a reality, this neither Shah nor Sheikh, like what issues would be resolved for Iran and its people?
I mean, by saying that we're not settling for something less than what we're seeking for. We're seeking for freedom. We're seeking for justice.
But what about the people who say times during the Shah were better? What do you say to them?
Well, you're mentioning about the Shah and the Sheikh. Essentially, they're two faces on the same coin. They're two dictatorships, and Saba and Ariana and mentioned that, like during that time, if the Shah was so great, why were there people within the prisons being tortured?
Yeah.
Like Mauda Rezai is an example of that. She still has marks on her feet.
From during the Shah time.
From during the Shah of being tortured. All of her children were executed during that time. So when we're thinking about, it was the golden age during the Shah, then there shouldn't have been this constant oppression and poverty and executions for anyone that opposed the Shah. There are writers, there are poets that were imprisoned, that were kidnapped, that there were forced disappearances. None of this should have happened during that time. And he made the ultimate betrayal, the Shah.
Basically, a lot of people, I think, call him a sellout.
I mean,
for that.
But why would you settle for that kind of dictatorship? Both are dictatorships. It doesn't mean that one is less worse than the other one, that we should settle for that one. I mean, it doesn't make sense. We cannot settle for less than simple freedom.
Let's talk about the youth convention that just happened.
Yeah.
What was your overall impression of the event, ladies, and how did your attendance affect you?
Honestly, it was an amazing event. I mean, like I said earlier, the strength and the hope that gave me, like, it was incredible because we all want the same goal, like we said. It's the same goal, which is the freedom of the people in Iran. We want justice, and
Do you feel like you learned a lot?
Honestly, yeah, I did, because we could have asked like questions to Mayam Yajavi about like our concerns or what we can do to like get to know better this organization, and like she answered every question, and every question at least it was like 15 to 20 minutes that she was answering. And it was complete, and she knows how to communicate. And when I saw this, I was like, yes, she needs to represent our country in Iran. She wants the best for the people in Iran.
She embodies everything that the
Exactly.
people within Iran are seeking.
Exactly.
Her grace, her perseverance, her determination, her strength. These are all like values. These are all things that young girls and young men and young women and young men in Iran are seeking, and she embodies that. And it's not just one person. It's this ideology that the Mujahideen, what they believe in, is that true equality that we haven't really seen, and this is what they're seeking. And it's beautiful.
Yeah.
What was your impression of the Khawars?
Well, they're actually our sisters. No. Like when we say Khawa, like it's because they're actually our sisters.
We're like, just sisters and brothers from other mothers.
Like, exactly. Honestly,
we're all sisters and brothers.
We're like a family, and we're always gonna accept who we are, and we're never gonna judge each other. I mean, you can be Jews, you can be Muslim, you can have no religion, and we're never gonna judge each other. And this is what the Mujahideen wants also. To like they represent not only Islam, like it's about who you are, and we accept the way you are too. So
the values, the values they carry. Yeah.
For me, watching them on television and on Simaya Azadi and all these clips and things like that, I would always think like they were sort of unapproachable and very serious. But when I went to the youth convention, they were like so chill, is so relaxed and so very approachable. But I really did feel like they were just warm people that I was just getting to know. There was nothing being imposed upon me.
Yeah.
It was just, let's share an experience, come and see what we're about, see how much we support young people. And I just want to know if that was your experience too. It doesn't, you don't necessarily have to
No, it
mind,
feels like you're entering a world where everything is possible.
Exactly.
And then when you leave that world, it's back to reality and back to all the difficulties we face as young women, because there is that barrier. There's always going to be that barrier for now, for women.
Yeah.
And what the Mujahideen, what the women are seeking is that equality. But yeah, Saba.
Anyone can come and support Mujahideen. It is a choice that they wear a hijab. They choose that, and they've made it clear, and they respect. And to support Mujahideen does not mean that you have to be wearing the hijab as a woman. They believe in the choice. After the revolution of 1979, when the hijab was being forced upon women, the first people that were in line with women who were, weren't wearing the hijab was the khahars from Mujahideen, who were wearing the hijab, but were standing in the front lines with other women who were not wearing the hijab. They were the ones that, came in support, because they believe that women have the choice. They believe in just human rights.
Exactly.
And what they're fighting for Iran, it goes beyond just the hijab. They believe that Iran, that has all these natural resources, should be flourishing. Why is it that our rivers are drying up in Iran? Yeah. So it's not just the hijab for this Sazman, for Mujahideen. It goes beyond that, it goes to all the rights. And that's highlighted in the 10-point plan of Maryam Rajavi.
You saw yourself in this 10-point plan.
Definitely. And it's very inspiring that it is the women that have leadership roles in this movement, that have that play a large role in the day-to-day activities, but also just they have positions of power within this movement, and you don't see that anywhere else.
No,
you really don't. Not within a political movement.
No,
and so that's inspiring. I see myself within this movement. And the kindness, the humility, the respect that I feel here is something that I wish every Iranian can feel and experience. So I think before you give in to the propaganda, to actually come and experience this, participate and see,
ask questions,
and see how those engagements
are. I love that they had a Q&A. Actually, you're right. The ask questions part, that's so true, because that was a chance for young people to actually have, who are very curious and who have self, and that was welcome too, is ask your questions. She would take the time to actually make sure that she was touching on all those points.
Even when we were supposed to stop, she even gave an extra hours. She could easily communicate, and we could easily understand her too. It wasn't difficult. So I really liked it, honestly.
The youth convention was really incredible. I had the chance to talk with so many people, and I had so much more hope after attending the youth convention, just talking to each and every person, and listening to what they hope for, they want for their people. They're saying, I won't give up. I'll always attend these protests. I'll never stop coming here. I'll always speak for the youth. I'll always speak for them. Because at the end of the day, we are their voice, and just hearing and listening to every single person that attended and why they attended was just incredible, and gave me a lot of hope that we will one day achieve our goal. And we just don't give up. And by seeing all these people and by hearing their stories, where they came from and when they start,
and then seeing new Iranians coming from Iran and coming to Europe, and
it's just incredible.
Yeah, it's incredible.
But I think it's important because we are the future, we are the next generation, and this is why we're doing this, you know, because we're the future.
We're the future of everything. So if
Yeah.
we do believe in one thing and want to achieve this one thing, I know one day we'll be able to. I mean, just this youth convention gave so much hope to me, and I'm sure to so many others, because it's been so long. We've been fighting for so long. For 40 years, we've been fighting and seeking justice, and it just gives hope to people that we're gonna continue on, and we're never gonna give up on that one thing we believe in. It's just like overall, it gave hope to me.
Yeah, because we're not alone. We're gonna continue, and so it gave me hope too.
کیانا جون، میشه ازت خواهش بکنم که برای بینندگان عزیز ما صحبت بکنی که به چه منظوری اومدی تو این حرکت اعتراضی شرکت بکنی؟ حتما هم میدونم که مطلع هستی که حمله کردن به کمپ لیبرتی، رژیم و مزدوراش. حالا میشه ازت خواهش بکنم بگی چرا اومدی اینجا؟
من اینجا اومدم که برای اینکه دولت ایران دیکتاتوره، بچه از کمپ لیبرتی رو کشیده. میدونین چرا؟ برای اینکه میترسه از اینا. و من میبینین عکسا که دارم، داییم مرده، ولی من اومدم. بچه از لیبرتی رو کشیدن، همه اومدیم برای اینکه ما اومدیم که کمک کنیم خاله مریم، عمو مسعود، کمک کنیمش که برن ایران که ایران آزاد بشه، برای اینکه خدای واقعی رو دوست دارن و خدا میگه باید ایران آزاد بشه و نه که یه بچه بگه من گشنمه. و یه چیز دیگه، عمو مسعود میگه آفتاب نمیتونه همیشه بمونه پشت ابر، نمیتونه همیشه زندانی بشه، باید بالاخره یک روز آزاد میشه. برای این لازم داریم کمک شما. کشتیدن یه چیزی بده. مرگ بر خامنه‌ای، درود بر رجبی. مرسی وقت گذاشتین گوش کردین.
مرسی عزیزم.